What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo and Ultron. What a nightmare this boss is definitely getting to be. So I have made it to stage 29. Funny story, guys, and I actually did this by accident. On stage 28, I actually got down to like the last bar against this guy, and I was just, I only had like a bar and a half left of damage, and I was just sitting there tapping the screen for whatever reason, and I actually ended up paying crystals and skipped it to get to stage 29. And I was so pissed off at myself for that one because I never ever want to clear a stage that way. If I can't do it in one round without paying crystals, then it doesn't count as a clear to me. So today what I'm going to show you guys in order to kind of make up for that is to do stage 29. Obviously, you can clear stage 29, you can clear stage 28. And this was pretty freaking rough, man. This took me quite a long time, even though I'm going to be using an OP team that I showed you guys, a few days ago, which is Moonstone, Ebony, and Taskmaster, right? Now, Ebony here, I actually have a mighty CTP of energy. I put that on him because I actually needed a little bit of extra damage. Not a lot, but a little bit. Now, he isn't like fully built. He doesn't have a fully awakened ISO 8 set. This is really the only place he's really lacking. He does have Urus, and he does have a mythic uniform. I mean, he's got a fairly good build other than them ISO 8 set. If that ISO 8 set was a little bit stronger, or developed a little bit more, had a fully awakened ISO 8 set, I'd get an extra 20% more attack from the set bonus, and that really would help a lot. But I knew I could probably do it without doing that, and he really did help a lot because of his support passive with the uniform effect, giving a 35% increased damage to universal types, which Ultron is, and then of course the 40% increase of energy attack leadership. Then of course Taskmaster could get CTB of Inside, the damage to super villains. And if it wasn't for my Moonstone, if I can find Moonstone here, having this brilliant, there's no way I could do this. There's no way I'd be able to clear this highest stage without it. And I think that's pretty effed up, to be perfectly honest, guys. I mean, stage 29 and you're already needing brilliance. I mean, that's just crazy to me that, players needs. I mean, all the players that are clearing these high levels, this is what they're using. Right? They're not using mighties because those things just aren't strong enough. Not even on the strongest accounts, I don't think they're strong enough. Because, I mean, if you jump in here and you go into World Boss and you take a look at, who's in the top right. So you got, Gorilla Baby here, and he's using Sharon Rogers, Gambit, and Cyclops. Let's see what's on his Sharon Rogers. Brilliant CTP of energy, right? And that's what I'm talking about, guys. And has the 6-star artifact. So I mean, you need insane, setups on your account. I mean, look at this car set on this guy, right? I mean, he's got an insane amount of energy and physical attack. I mean, you're looking at 135% physical plus 20% physical. That's 155% physical attack. I have 77%, right? He's got, 151% energy attack, and then along with the other 20% energy attack proc, that's 170% energy attack, guys. I mean, it's just nuts. Oh, right? The amount of attack that this player has. Shout out to Gorilla Baby. That is just nuts, guys. And, these OP accounts are really the only ones that are going to be pushing this high, right? A lot of the other YouTubers, they're not queuing it up, right? Shout out to my boy Samboy there for being in the number 11. But a lot of these guys just, they're not using brilliance, and that's why they can't push any further. It really is freaking hard, man, taking on this guy whenever you get this high level, because his defenses are just nuts. It takes an insane amount of damage to take him out. So I'll go ahead and pull up the run for you guys so you can check this out. And this actually, I had to do this actually on my Samsung phone. Funny story. I was playing this on my iPhone. My battery actually went dead, so I had to actually change it to my Samsung. So you might notice the screen's a little bit enlarged compared to what it normally would be. And you got to play very aggressive. The thing about Moonstone is she's got that, whenever she does her awakened skill, she has all that excessive flame damage at the end, and that actually sets off the proc early sometimes. Now, luckily, a second ago, it didn't let off the proc early, and I was able to hit my 5-3 after the awakened skill and do a lot of damage, man. I'm just playing super aggressive. And you almost, I mean, I had to have pretty much almost a perfect run in order to do this. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to end up skipping stage 29 after this. And I'm just going to go straight to stage 30 and see if we can use some different characters, because this is pretty rough. All right, I'm going to avoid all this. This attack here, actually, as easy as it is to avoid, is kind of the one that gets me the most. Build up our strike proc. Melt bars, man, melt bars. And you'll notice, guys, that I'm not really using Ebony. Ebony doesn't do that much damage. If he has his tier 3 available, he will put out a decent amount of power, but nothing compared to what my Moonstone's doing, because she does have a Brilliant, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing that sucks about this, is that you absolutely are going to need a Brilliant to be able to do this. It's just, it's that hard, you know. That's how much damage you need to take this guy out. And as you guys can see, the damage from Ebony there wasn't too great, right? It wasn't too great. When he does his tier 3, he puts out a little bit more, but not really too impressive. Whoops, got hit there. Need to be a little careful. And right there, all I'm doing is just trying to get Ebony's tier 3 ready to go. And the thing is to have Ebony's tier 3 ready at the very end, because you might need it. I found out whenever I was trying to do this with just Moonstone that I'd always lack just a little tiny bit of damage right at the end, man. I'd come so close and I would just need a little bit extra. So whenever I kind of beefed up Ebony a little bit, gave him that mighty CTP of energy, that was enough to help out. If I'd had a CTP of judgment, I would have just slapped that on him. That would have been way better, because then I could enter his tier 3 even faster. Especially if I was alternating between him and Moonstone. And by the way, man, Ultron does a lot of damage, man. He can take Moonstone out very fast. It doesn't take long at all for him to kill her. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay, watch out. Oh, and another thing, you know, whenever Ultron is in these phases, every chance and every opportunity you get to come slam him, you should attack him. Oh, yeah. My favorite attack whenever he does attack is those geyser movements. Whenever he does the geyser, that's when you can get him. Now this is why Ebony's kind of important. So right now, I'm not at the bottom of the 8th bar. Ultron has not went into his shield, right? Which sucks. So we want to get him down to the bottom of the 8th bar so he immediately goes into the next phase. Oh boy, I got caught by the tornado. Took a shot there. Luckily, we got the decreased damage received from universal types. Oof. And we want to try to do some damage to this guy right now. And you see, we just moved the bar a little bit because his shield popped up at the bottom of the 8th bar. Oh boy. This is like the worst attack that he does. So annoying. And this is, again, my favorite attack, because once that purple bar goes all the way down, you can just literally run up to Ultron and hit him before he goes into another phase. And look at the damage we do right now, right? We still need to do a little bit more, so I'm going to build up that beatdown, and I'm going to try to do some damage with the tier 3 from Ebony. And this little bit of damage, guys, believe me, that little bit of damage I just did, that is what's going to seal the deal at the end of this fight. That's because what would happen to me is, a lot of times I'd get to this point in the fight, and Moonstone wouldn't quite do enough damage on this right here. She wouldn't quite do enough damage. Right now, we only need to do 3 bars. And if I wouldn't have used Ebony's tier 3, we'd had almost 4 bars. And I got 35 seconds to spare. We were actually able to clear stage 29, right? Which is pretty awesome. It's just a shame that you have to use a Brilliant in order to do it. You know, that's the shame about this. That's what sucks about it. I mean, I know it's a high stage, right, as far as Ultron is concerned, but I mean, whenever, you know, against Null and Mephisto, we can actually go up to stage, you know, you can get up in the 50s with mighties. You know, you don't need a brilliant to go that high, right? That's what sucks about this, man. You know, having to need a brilliant already. And what scares me about this is we know rages are really popular against Ultron, and it makes me worry that whenever they bring a reforged rage in here, because they will bring one in here, that you're going to absolutely need a reforged rage to push against Ultron, a brilliant reforge, right? If that's what they do. And that's really going to rub a lot of players the wrong way, because I mean, that would just be a, you know, huge crash grab, and would really, you know, upset a lot of players. You know, I got a brilliant because I got super lucky. I reforged one CTB of destruction and it just became a brilliant. I got super lucky, right? That's why I'm able to use the damn thing. But most players are not that lucky. They're not going to have something like that to be able to push Ultron. So I don't know. I think Netmarble really needs to, you know, start bringing in some characters that can push Ultron. That's what they really need to do. You know, the whole Reforged Rage thing, I don't think that's a good idea at all. But if they bring in some OP characters that can actually push Ultron, maybe have some kind of advantage against Ultron, like increased damage to Ultron, something like that, that would make the player base a lot happier, because pretty much every player would be able to get those characters, right? It wouldn't be a big separation between whales and free-to-plays, which there never really should be. There obviously should be a little bit of separation, but you don't want some huge gap, because that will actually push free-to-play players away, and whales won't even want to play because a lot of players aren't playing the game anymore. Hopefully they bring in some characters that are actually going to get some nice bumps against Ultron. I think that would make things a lot better for a lot of players. I know a lot of players don't even want to fight Ultron because it's just that much of a nuisance. And if you guys are curious as far as the requirements for stage 29, or stage 30 I should say, you actually need to clear it with Mr. Sinister in order to get through this. But I'm just going to end up completing it now. I'm just going to spend the crystals and just push it to see if we can go any higher. And more than likely, I'm probably going to take that brilliant CTB destruction and slap it on another character, which again is a huge cost. So let me know what y'all think about the stage 29 clear against Ultron. I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.